Hey guys, it's Mr. Possible. I just got done a workout, and as I was on my workout, I was thinking about a question that people ask me often in tournaments. Um, Oftentimes, I just want you to imagine that I told you that you were 92% to be awarded $10,000 tomorrow. 92%. Um, and then tomorrow came and you weren't awarded that $10,000. And then imagine that you worked really, really, really hard for a raise or a promotion of some sort, and it was going to be a significant amount, 10,000 or more, and you were 95% guaranteed that promotion or that raise. How would you deal with it when it was denied to you? And people ask me all the time because I lose, for those of you who don't understand poker, I lose bets where I'm a 95% favorite or I'm a 92% favorite. So how do you, a person was watching me the other day in a qualifying tournament that would have put me into the running to win over $150,000. How do you take a 92% beat? And in this case, it was only like an 88-12 beat. What I mean by beat is 88% of the time I'm winning, but 12% of the time I'm losing. And so I really had to think about that. So before I answer that question, because I think it's vital, because I think when you go through life, there are hills and valleys. And I think when you get into those valleys, this is a vital lesson. Before I talk about that, let me first talk about my morning, how it starts out. Let me share a story with you, and then I'll wrap it up. So this morning, I got up. My alarm clock went off at 4:30. I like to get up at 4:30 a.m. so that I get in my morning walk. As I've said numerous times before, I'm an albino. I burn in the sun. It's very uncomfortable. So both myself and my fiance get up and we take a walk around my property. I have 10 acres, so it's about a mile around, give or take. So we do a couple miles, a 45-minute walk for 75 hard, which, by the way, I'm on day 42. I wish I could tell you that in order to get up, it gets easier, but it really doesn't. There are still those hills and valleys. There are still easy days and hard days. There's days I jump out of bed, and there's days I say, this again, just being very real. So this morning, it was kind of a harder day. I haven't been feeling so well, kind of have a little bit of a cold. But the alarm clock went off. I got up. I put my feet on the floor. I did my stretches. I did my morning routine as my fiance was doing her morning routine. And then I look over and I see the bed, and it's unmade. And I know that I have to make the bed. So I go through the steps of making the bed. Now, what's interesting about this is, why do I make the bed? A lot of people might say, well, you make the bed so that, you get something done in the morning that you're proud of, or you make the bed because you have people coming over, or if you think about it logically, there's no logical reason to make your bed outside of some type of sanitary reason, which that's a whole nother discussion. But I mean, I'm going to get back in that bed tonight. If it's made or if it's not made, it doesn't really have any reason. And the reason I make my bed is for the same reason it dawned on me, actually during 75 hard. It's for the same reason that I pick up trash on the side of the road. Or when I get done brushing my teeth, I wipe down my entire sink area, and now recently the entire toilet. It's the exact same reason. And what I want when I get out of bed is to immediately start building this key ingredient that is going to help me through those valleys. And that ingredient is discipline. The ability to do something that I'm uncomfortable doing right away, immediately, and through completion. So I made my bed and I went about my day. And you might say, well, that's such a small thing. Why does making your bed matter so much? Well, it's not just making your bed. It's picking up the trash you see. It's cleaning up after yourself. It's immediate action. It's discipline. Discipline is just like when you go to the gym. You have to work it out. It's a muscle. You have to build it, and you build it by first doing very small things. So the first thing, maybe making your bed. The second thing, maybe, like I said, cleaning up after yourself. But as you build that discipline more and more, then I'm out on the trail and I'm like, oh, I'm only going to go 2 rounds. I'm tired, Discipline kicks in and says, no, we got to do this right now. Discipline takes over. And when this becomes your default, you become very adept at completing things, at following something all the way through. It's absolutely essential when you're in that valley and you're like, oh, I can't do another minute of this, that you have that discipline habitually to rely on. So going back to the original question, discipline is the answer. Discipline of how I emotionally react. Now in poker, and again, I don't expect you to understand poker to watch this. Poker is a microcosm of life. So there are times in poker where you lose, and many people lose, and then they lose even more because they get emotional. So discipline comes in, and it's like, I was always going to lose 12% of the time. Why couldn't this be the 12% of the time? And I actually pride myself in not reacting. And it's funny because this particular time, I was an 88% favorite, and the guy who won was a 12%. He only had 12% chance of winning. And he got upset that he might lose emotionally. He said he was going to throw a chair into the wall if he lost before he won. And I think that I have been through so many of these situations and disciplined myself to not expect an outcome. Number one, attaching yourself to an outcome, which I'm not going to talk in this video, but I will talk about in the future, is a very detrimental thing to do. So discipline-wise, I've been in that situation thousands of times, and I know that, hey, 12% of the time I'm going to lose this. And I'm fully capable of saying, it's okay. I'm not a lock. 88% is not a lock. So putting myself in that situation where I'm making my bed every day, putting myself in the situation where I'm doing these very uncomfortable things, and putting myself in situations where, I'm not always going to win, builds the discipline of responding that way, of saying, it is what it is. I used to hate that saying, but it really is just what it is. You can't control it. If I'm going to lose 12% of the time, it's still 12% of the time. It's not 100% of the time that I'm going to win. So I hope that helps, and that you can apply that in your life. So if you want to, start losing weight, as an example, then the discipline is, I'm not going to buy that food and put it in my house. That's the tiny thing. Or I'm not going to, go into the cabinet first thing in the morning. There's disciplined steps that you build. Or I'm going to put one foot in front of the other and walk maybe a quarter of a mile. Those sorts of things. If you're a newly divorcee getting over a relationship in which you chose that didn't work out the way you wanted to, it might be getting up in the morning. It could be different things, doing something for yourself. A lot of times when we get out of a relationship or when something breaks, we tend to take it out on ourselves. And really, we should celebrate that as a moment of growing. So again, it's just another way and another tool in the toolbox to prove the possible. So I'm Mr. Possible. Now I'm going to go do some more training in poker and more training in discipline. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, please post them on the YouTube channel. I know this is distributed to many Twitter and Facebook and everywhere else, but please post your questions on the YouTube channel, and I'll try to answer them as much as I can. And just remember, everything is possible. It just takes really hard work. Thanks, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you later today.